Thank you, David, and good evening to everybody tonight. For the past 6 years, I've had the privilege of leading our corporate giving and business development team. In 2011, I took a chance and I left my job at a large nonprofit to work from the coffee table of my apartment as the only employee of Luke's Wings. To be honest, it was really hard at that time to find anybody who told me that would be a good idea. But as they say, listen to your heart. Even though it's on your left, it's always right. A few times in the early days, Fletcher, myself, or Jen, who you'll meet later tonight, paid for flights for families out of our own pockets when organizational funds fell just a little short. It was our natural instinct to buy the flight and figure it out later. Saying yes was most important. We gave our time by dropping off roses on Valentine's Day, taking the children of the wounded to movies, dinners at our homes, rides to hair appointments, and doctor's visits. And not to say that now is easy, because now certainly has its own sort of struggles, but then was far more challenging than many would think. More than once, and a few people may feel comfortable in this room saying this, we were told that having their family bedside was the only thing that kept them going one more day, and then one more day after that, and then one more day after that, until we're all here tonight. I am beyond proud to say that just a few short years later, Luke's Wings has raised $7.1 million and will end 2008 with 4,000 flights. This is not a testament to me or my team, but rather to each person in this room tonight, as it is the collective efforts of each and every person over the past 10 years that have allowed a little organization like ours to stand the test of time. Tonight, we celebrate 10 years, and you cannot connect the dots by looking forward, you connect them by looking backwards. And to that end, we have strived to bring the past to life tonight. As you began your evening with us, you walked through a hall of 10 flags, representing 2008 to 2018, which culminated in the number 10, provided by Scissor G Productions, that showed 125 photos over the past 10 years. The challenge coin that was on your plate, generously sponsored by Morgan Franklin, is silver in color, a nod to aluminum, which is representative of a 10-year celebration. And while in years past we've had a traditional MC, tonight we will meander down memory lane and through the program by hearing from 10 beneficiary families who have spanned and embody the existence of Luke's Wings. And as it was once said, never forget a man who weathered and rescued you from the storm just because you can now see the shores. We will honor 5 companies who made a tremendous organizational impact and life-changing contributions to Luke's Wings over the past 10 years. Companies and foundations that could have chosen larger or more recognizable organizations, but instead chose us year after year, and because of that have allowed us to grow and evolve into the organization we are today. Before I kick off tonight's ceremony, please allow me a moment to thank SRS Distribution for their incredible contribution as tonight's presenting sponsor. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Additionally, to Allstate Insurance for tonight's cocktail reception, and to Boeing for their sponsorship of our honoree and speaker reception, and to Delta Airlines as tonight's dinner and dessert sponsor. To E9 for sponsoring our wounded warrior sitting at each and every table, and to SAIC for sponsoring our speakers and honorees, including our guest of honor, U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Robert Fierro, retired, and to Vessi for tonight's entertainment. Speaking of entertainment, thank you to Dave Bray, U.S. veteran and musician whose music you heard as you entered the room and you will hear at the conclusion of the program. Additionally, I've met very few people who have a heart like Deb Shift of the J Street Group and Mark and Michael of J Street Productions, who helped us produce, execute, and bring light and sound and the stories to life tonight. And to Toy Box Studios for crisscrossing the country to video the stories and the companies and the families we will honor tonight. And lastly, I would be remiss to not thank the tireless, passionate lifesavers that are Luke's Wings. You may not know this, but there are just 6 of us total, and I would be lost without Jennifer Maggard, Dakota Beerley, Darian Gilly, Katie Courier, and of course, Fletcher Gill. Now, as I'm sure you're ready to hear from people besides myself, it is my privilege to welcome one of the very first families ever supported by Luke's Wings, and that is represented by Miss Terry Hardin, mom of the late U.S. Army Specialist Kevin Hardin. Luke's Wings was able to support the Hardins in the early days, and having her here tonight as part of our look back on organizational milestones really brings it full circle for us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Terry Hardin.